So the S1 and the non-lucrative visa. I've done plenty of videos on the S1 before, but I just wanted to do one around the process. So what we know is that the S1 is allowed for a non-lucrative visa. In the first few years, first couple of years, we didn't know if it was even going to be allowed, whether it was going to exist, how to do it, but the requirements seem to have settled down now, and we're in a process, albeit there's been a few bumps in the road, but everybody who's got an S1, who has access to an S1, can use them now for their non-lucrative visa. Well, at the time of doing this video in May 2023, let's see what they come up with in the future. But anyway, what I wanted to do was just explain a bit more surrounding the process of getting your S1 and also how it works from the beginning to the end. So the first thing I want to do is say if you need to get an S1, check out the article below. We've put an article below which actually tells you how and where you need to. You can either apply for one online, or you can phone the pensions authorities, give them a call. And what we've seen lately is they've actually been emailing people S1s before the original documents arrive with them, which is great, because with the email we can continue with the pre-registration here in Spain, which I'm going to explain in a minute. Okay, so if you need an S1, check out the article below. It explains how to get one. Okay then, so first thing we're going to do is grab an example of an S1. Now, the first thing we're going to do is talk about the timing. So related to the non-lucrative visa, we're talking about S1s, non-lucrative visa applicants from the UK, either going through Edinburgh, Manchester or London. Excuse me. So if you need a non-lucrative visa, at your appointment you're going to have to present, if you qualify for an S1 certificate and the registration of that certificate in Spain. And this is where people get confused, and quite rightly so. It's because it's a little bit chicken and egg as to how to sort this process out. Okay, because the consulates ask for one thing and unfortunately you have to do something else. So first thing is you need your S1 at the time of your appointment, but when you phone up to get an S1, they always say to you, what date are you moving to Spain? At this point you're like, I don't even know if I've got a visa or not, so how can you give them a date to move to Spain? Well, what we always tell our clients is to use your estimated consulate date as the date you are moving to Spain. Okay, now we know you're not going to be moving to Spain the day after your consulate appointment, but most of the time it's the only way you can get your S1 in time to actually go to that appointment. Okay, so if you are ordering an S1, get one, and if they ask you for the date, if you've got you should have an estimated date, or it should be a date that you're aiming at for the consulate. Use that date. Okay, so your S1 comes. What's the S1 look like? Well, there you go. We've got an S1 here. The S1 actually comes as one document. This is a copy, so you have page 1 and page 2. So that's what your S1 looks like. It's quite a thick piece of paper, well printed. You need the original for the consulate. Now, some people around the world may say, oh, we never got an original, they only sent it to it. Yes, because some other countries like Italy, Holland, I've seen only send them via email. You need to print them off. They're a European document digitally, so it's not a problem. But in the UK, they send you out an original document by post, and that's the thing that you need to take with you to the consulate. Okay, on page 1, it has the personal details of the holder. So this is the person who has the right to the S1. Now, if you are a beneficiary of somebody else's S1, then you will figure on the back page. As we can see here, there's actually no one on this page. So, but on this one, we have the person who has the right to the S1, and if they had a spouse which wasn't of state pension age but had access through them, they would figure there. Okay, it's very important that you have one each. So if you are a married couple where one person has access to the S1, the other person is not a state pensioner but has access through you, you will need one for yourself and one for them, where they figure on the back. Yours alone will not suffice for the appointment. This isn't enough for your appointment though. This is the problem. What you have to do is you have to register this S1 in Spain. Again, we're going to put a link to where you need to register the S1 below in this video. And when you register the S1, you get a document which looks like this. There you go, so you print it out, and that's the document you get when you register your S1. So for your appointment at the consulate, you're going to need your original S1 and the printout that you have registered your S1 with the Social Security. Now, for our clients, we actually do that for them. Okay, so we register you and we give you the printout. If you're doing it on your own, then you're going to need to go onto the Social Security website. Don't forget it's in Spanish, and follow the instructions. Make sure that you get your printouts to prove that you've registered your S1. Okay, so that's you at the consulate now. You've presented your documents, your original S1. I would take a copy of the S1 as well, because they may want to retain it. No, I'm lying. They will want to retain a copy of the S1 and the registration of the S1 as well. So let's move forward. You've now got your visa and you're in Spain and you're ready to get your healthcare. Well, you're not quite. Why? Because the consulates want you to register your S1, but to register an S1 in Spain, you need a residency card and a padrón certificate, which you're not going to get before you get your visa. So you've done the registration just using your passport and the S1. Now the Social Security is going to come back to you and they're going to say, we can't accept this because you haven't got a TIE card, residency card and a padrón. Okay, so what do we do? So the first thing we do for our clients, evidently, is we assist them with this, what we call stage 2, which is getting their padrón and their TIE card. When you go to your initial appointment with a TIE card, you get a document called a resguardo. 40 days later, you get the actual card. Now, we have registered S1s using the resguardo document, but to be honest, at times the Social Security has come back to us and said, we want to see the residency card as well. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to wait until those documents are in place. We then send those off to the Social Security to complete the file, and then the Social Security come back to us and they give us a document which looks like this. And it says Documento Acreditativo de Derecho de Asistencia a Sanitaria. Okay, so this document, here, alright, this document is what gives you access to the healthcare system here in Spain. If you have a beneficiary, they will also figure on this document. This is the time that you can actually use this document for both of you. So it's yourself and everybody else who figures on your S1 will be on there. So what's the problem with this? The problem is this can take a couple of months. If you need medication, it's best to bring plenty of medication with you. Some people get a temporary private healthcare policy in place just to get them over that first period here in Spain, because it can take up to 3 months to get this document, which then gives you right to healthcare in Spain. But once you've got this document, that isn't the end. So that's the end for us. So here at Upsticks, if we're helping you, you're a state pensioner, we tell you where to get your S1, we then pre-register your S1 for you, you then go and get your visa, you then come to us, we process stage 2, and then once we've processed stage 2, we then present the rest of the documents to the Social Security and we give you your certificate to prove you've got healthcare. But then you've got to go to the medical centre. So what we do is we send off this handy folder, yay, to our clients with all the instructions on what you need to do to register for your health card. Once you've got your health card, you can then go and see a doctor and carry on using the national healthcare system. So there you have it, a brief on the S1 and the non-lucrative visa. A few points to make there is remember that you need to take the original S1 to your appointment with the registration in Spain. Remember, that's not the end of the journey. When you get your visa, you'll need your TIE card and your padrón to finalise the registration of that S1. And when you've got all of that, you need to take your certificate which proves you've got access to healthcare, along with, and I'll check our little list here, your certificate, your TIE card, your residency, your passport and your padrón, dated in the last 90 days, to your local healthcare centre, who will register you and you'll be able to see a doctor. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, and if there's any subject matters or videos that you want me to talk about, just please check them below and we'll do more videos soon.